Hi, I'm Tori.
And I'm Leah.
And I'm Aram.
And welcome back to the Boys Lie Podcast.
A podcast where we talk about the craziest relationship stories you ever heard, pop culture, and the piping hot tea of our lives.
So buckle up, enjoy the ride, and remember that
Boys lie.
Boys lie.
Boys lie.
Boys lie.
Boys lie.
Boys lie.
Them boys, they be lying.
Boys lie.
There is so much to unpack today,
Yeah.
honestly, before we jump into story time. I
Yeah.
have so much I want to bring up. I actually wrote a list out on my phone.
I think we should discuss the fires first.
Yeah, but also I want to shout out the fact that it's Martin Luther King Day
Yes.
today.
Also
Yes.
We're
that.
recording, and the king fought against segregation of all people and for world peace. And for that, I just want to make that a good shout out.
Without
mention.
him, I wouldn't be on this couch.
And we love you so dearly.
Yeah, we do. I can't imagine my life without you.
Love you
I'm
guys.
grateful just to be like even sitting here with you guys, and the fact that like all of our houses are okay and that we're okay physically. I still can't even believe like what fucking happened. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It like makes me sick.
And it's like still happening,
I know.
which is wild because we're just
I'm
living
happy
our
it's
lives.
contained
Yeah.
now,
But the winds are coming back today.
Yeah.
my heart is so broken
Yeah.
from all of that. And I left for vacation last week, the day also that my house was supposed to be evacuated from, which is kind of crazy. And when I got to Anguilla, it was hard to even be there. It was hard to even like post being there. I didn't even take pictures really because I was so guilt tripped internally by being in a place where I had fresh air and like breathable like space, and watching it from a distance, it was like I would tear up every morning.
Yeah.
You shouldn't feel guilty. I mean, obviously, like you should be able to enjoy your vacation. It's not like you planned it during the time of the fires.
No, I know,
and,
but
like,
it just
Yeah.
feels
But I
like
understand.
I understand why you
ignorant.
feel that way.
Yeah. It was. I'm jealous, honestly. I wish I was out of here. Like it was really high anxiety being here.
Yeah.
And I know you
I mean, even
evacuated.
I went to Newport for 3 nights, and like, I mean, it's so different than your vacation and everything too. But I felt a certain way as well. Like, I'm out here in Newport, and I like got a cocktail like on a Friday night, and then there's like
People who have
are,
lost
like-
their homes, pets
Yeah.
who are displaced.
and
Like,
people,
Yeah.
like, the smoke is crazy. Like everything I'm hearing, and I'm like down here, and like I feel blessed that I got that opportunity and that I'm able to do that. I know not everyone is, but still devastating, still hard.
Last week was like tough, and like even like on the day like Saturday, which was like the day that like we didn't really know if like the fires were going to continue to like get worse or whatever. Like my parents even called me and they told me about my dog at home, which was
Yeah.
like on top of like having the anxiety about now I'm gonna cry.
It's okay.
I don't even like want to talk about it, but on top of having like the anxiety about the fires and just seeing everything happen, I found out that my dog has like 2 to 4 weeks left, which was just like,
you're gonna make me cry too. This is a crying couch.
No, it's the hardest
today.
shit.
I didn't like think I was going to talk about it, but that was like the hardest thing to hear. Obviously, like he's 11 and I'm so grateful for the 11 years that I got with him, but like it just like made it all the worse. Like it was just like a really terrible week. And I don't know, like if you just hug your animals tight, because like I'm not home and I wish I could be with him. I'm actually going to go home
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Sobbing, you guys. Poor Marley. He's such a
I
good boy,
know.
honestly.
Like he really, like he taught me like so much unconditional love, and he really like made my life and like my parents' life so much better. And like it's hard for me to imagine my house at home without him.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be hard, but
Coming around from the backside to hug you, even though I don't really hug that often either.
And that's big.
I love you. Oh, thank you. If your dog is anything's like wrong with them, like do everything you can to get them checked out, because Marley was having like fainting spells, and I know my parents did as much as they could, but their vet like just did like blood work and like didn't really look into it too much. But then his vet like retired and a new vet came in, and she was like, actually like let's look into this, and did like a full body scan and like found cancer like all over his chest. So like if you can prevent it and you think there's something wrong, there probably is, and vets aren't always right.
Yeah.
So sorry, I didn't mean to like cry and make
No,
that
it's
like
No, it's
okay.
okay. It's seriously one of the most emotional things on the actual planet.
I was talking with
losing
you
a
about it
pet.
because you were telling me about your dog at home too, and
Yeah. Going through it's awful. I just feel for you.
Yeah.
100%.
So sorry if I'm a crazy fucking bitch. Thanks.
And then that's more
totally
than okay too.
understandable.
Yeah.
Also, it's so crazy because the animals are like so pure and just not helpless, but like just the purest they possibly can
I
be, and
know.
you are their life. So like that's the part I think when it comes to like animals versus people, even with the fire situation, it's almost like I hurt so bad for the animals. Not that I'm not a people's person. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. But
No, my therapist actually said the same thing. She was like, believe it or not, I actually think losing animals sometimes can be even harder than losing a person, which that's her opinion. Like, I don't necessarily agree with that.
I think
But
it's equally as
she
hard.
said because with people, you know, you go through all these emotions with them. You have like love, anger, hate, like resentment. But with animals, like all you have is love.
And it's so simple.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and also like you can't communicate with them how you can communicate with a human being.
it's much more of a spiritual communication, I feel
Yeah.
like.
And I feel like
almost.
it's so sudden with animals
Yeah.
too. I mean, it can be sudden with people as well, but
And now I understand why people clone their dogs.
yeah.
I really get it. Like, I want to put him in the freezer and like clone him because when you find a good one, it's like hard. It's really, yeah. So sorry, I didn't mean to like.
No,
I didn't even
don't
like.
apologize.
I just
I'm happy
had
we
to get the tears out
we
because.
hit both of those.
Let's hear more about your trip.
Oh God, no. I'm not gonna dive deep into my family trip because it was like
Was it like the White Lotus?
yes, especially in the evening. They do this like champagne popping moment where
We had a resort.
Was it where you always go every year?
yeah, it's Capchaluca and Anguilla.
It's probably like people there, like other people.
Yeah, and a
Okay.
lot of them, because it's an island where it's like there's not much going on. Like there's 5 traffic lights, for example, on the island. And what was interesting actually and relevant to the fire situation and building community is when we were there, we were in a cab and my dad was talking about the fires and he was like, I was just wondering to the cab driver, shout out Big Mac. But anyways, he was like, what do people do on the island? Because there's been 3 major hurricanes on the island that have wiped out the entire island.
Yeah.
And he said they basically don't leave. They don't go to St. Martin and they don't run to other islands. They stay. And they all know each other as neighbors. And they pick up where the hurricane left off and they rebuild
Yeah.
Anguilla together.
Wow.
And hearing that and then witnessing it not just on an island that has 5 traffic lights, but through LA, which is like a much more robust community.
A lot of things are worth fighting for, and if that means even staying and like waiting out the storm, like I can only imagine like that's that's everything they
live
have.
in fear.
Yeah.
Like live in fear. And I think we got a glimpse of that from the fires and we are in a privileged position in that sense. But like this was just
Yeah. No.
this is like where every home is
Yeah.
gone. Every
Yeah.
resort is gone. Every hotel is wiped through the roof. So it was kind of crazy to hear that.
Yeah, Mother Nature is no fucking joke. And even with the Palisades, like a lot of people had to leave and they had less than 30 minutes to get home. And like even from here, God fucking forbid, but like all of our houses are more than 30 minutes away. And so a lot of people, like the guy you saw with the dog, I think at first a lot of people were like, why the fuck would
think
you
he
leave your
couldn't go back,
animals
yeah.
behind? But it's because he literally couldn't even get back. Like it was at that point, like police were not letting anybody up.
Even when my like side was being evacuated that Friday night, I wouldn't have been able to even get out.
I know,
at the
that's the
point
thing.
of evacuation.
Yeah,
because
gridlock.
everyone,
It was
gridlock.
gridlock.
Everyone is
Yeah.
trying to get out, and then there's certain streets that they closed, which was really frustrating. It was like really high traffic, and Michael's like, if we have to walk to Beverly Hills, then we're walking to Beverly Hills. Like that's just what's gonna happen. We'll take the dogs and just walk on over.
What was really scary too is when the fires were spreading to Mandeville Canyon. That was fucking scary too because it was coming right up on the edge, and that road is literally one way in, one way out. Same with the Palisades.
Yeah.
It's really scary
Even
and it's
Studio City, like
tragic.
the Holland area, like
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Well, I was with the dogs when the fires first started in Studio City, and I was like at Whole Foods, like working because they have a really gorgeous Whole Foods in Studio City. If you guys are in LA, incredible Whole Foods, beautiful large area to sit, and they have Wi-Fi and like comfy seats. So I was sitting on the balcony, like working away, and then I'm like, oh my god, what's that? Didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
And it was just smoke. Well, I could see it from our actual office window. We can insert a video here.
Yeah.
I just can't believe how fast it spread and just how much it wiped out. Like it wiped out in it, like the entire community, the town, everything. And even for the people who were lucky enough to have their houses still standing, it's like, what do you do then? Because even if your house is fine and livable,
it's inhabitable.
But even if it was, like, your neighbors are gone, your town is gone, the schools are gone, there's nothing.
I mean, like my grandparents, for instance, like their whole street neighborhood burnt down except for their home, like what I told you guys. Which
Yeah, that is
wild.
so
that happened
crazy.
to Allie Palmer too.
Yeah.
Every single
Yeah.
house other than hers and the one directly across from her, all of them down. And for me, my house was burnt down as a child.
Right,
So
there's trauma there.
yeah. Also, there is something that I did learn from that though, is that like not to put too much heart into material items as well. Like that's something that it taught me, because like I love you guys, and losing you guys would be way worse than losing a really nice pair of jeans.
I hope so.
For me, I was like, I have like no valuables, like in like a sense of like emergency.
He's like, I don't care.
There's like nothing I would grab in my home, literally.
I was thinking, I was like, oh my God, all of my stuff is in storage.
Oh, that's nice.
It's probably safe there, honestly.
Yeah, so safe.
Pretty
So
industrial.
safe, yeah.
Concrete, that shit's not burning.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, well, that's a good, like a plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I was thinking, I was like, because a lot of people too, they're like, take pictures of everything in your home just in case,
Yeah,
like
video.
for insurance purposes. But I was like thinking, I'm like, I don't really.
I don't have shit.
I mean,
like,
I have a lot of stuff,
Yeah,
but like
same.
none of it's like
of value to
of
me.
huge value besides
Yeah.
like my sentimental things that I have, like my letters that I keep and
I
like
don't even have that.
some jewelry from my mom and stuff like that. But I was like, honestly, like I don't, as long as I'm with like the people I love and I have my pets, like I'll be
Agreed.
okay.
Yeah.
But it does show you, it really does make you think like, what do I have here that I need? And like, yeah.
Other things that really blew me away this past week is and this is like going to be controversial. It's controversial because I also have some friendlies that behaved like this, but the
Same.
Behaved.
yeah, the TikTok ban behavior,
Bro.
It is wild.
it is so tone deaf to the degree where I'm actually appalled by certain
Same.
people's behavior. The fact
Same.
that they have such a lack of awareness of what's going on in the world, and they're crying, sobbing.
TikTok has meant so much to me. Like, if everybody cared like as much as they did about the app about like the fires or like bigger issues in the world, it's like the world would be a way better place. But I'm like blown away that you're even willing to post that, because it's just like embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing. Secondhand embarrassment was off the charts.
There's so many worse things going on in the world right now, and you're crying on Instagram because TikTok.
This one was insane. It doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel right. TikTok is gone. Just like that. For years, this app wasn't just a place to share videos. It was a place where we connected, laughed, learned, cried, and built communities that felt like home. It gave voice to the voiceless, opportunities to the overlooked, and a chance for everyday people to shine in ways we'd never seen before. From small town creators going viral to massive moments born from 15-minute clips, TikTok was ours. Now it's been taken away quietly, swiftly, without us having a say.
Kill me.
And for me, I was like, if it's not going to come back, there was going to be something else. And then I woke up. It was back.
Not only was I like grossed out by that, but I tried to, when I was in the grocery store, it really stuck in the back of my mind because it was my entire feed.
I know. So ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was like so out of touch. It's like, it's a fucking app.
There are also so many apps. So many apps. It might not be TikTok that you connect with community-wise, but there's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram.
It's like you're crying on Instagram about TikTok being banned. Like, it's such a hardship for you, but like you didn't just like get your house burnt down in a fucking fire along with your entire town. Like, look around. Like, read the fucking room.
I
It's
didn't
not the
see
time.
enough people agreeing with our take, though. Like, when you read the comments under those people's videos and posts, they were like, oh my God, like, I love you. Like, I'm so sorry.
Meanwhile, there are also
People-
hostages
I'm
from
so
October
sorry.
that were
Yeah.
released
like-
over the weekend. Much bigger deal.
But
Literally,
but
there's
these divas
mass
are, like,
shootings. People are
crying in their New York City apartments.
No.
Like, with their wall of Birkin bags behind them.
Yeah.
Did you see Morgan Stewart?
It makes me wish it was still banned.
No, I woke up in the morning and I was like, I actually wish it gone, because
Yeah.
it made me get such a bad ick from people. And I tried to think about it too, and I was like, all right, let's try and reason with why you're bothered by this so much. There are certain creators that I will hand it off to, like Alex fucking girl. She's going to be a good example of this, where I can understand her getting to the point of tears because that is where she originally got her livelihood and her cash.
Sure, be grateful. You could be grateful for that.
She can still get brand deals
Yeah,
through
she's
other
smart.
applications at this
She built
point in
herself
time.
further.
But that's also why I'm like, for the people who like have only stayed on like that platform TikTok and like built their whole like I don't know, social media
Identity.
identity or social media presence there and didn't move it to like YouTube or like Instagram. Like, sorry, nothing's forever.
I did want to like make that note as like I tried to make a comparison, and there are certain ways I can compare it. However, you would not catch me on YouTube or anything sobbing my eyes out as some story to be like, oh my God, I've lost blah, blah, blah. We've lost our ability to speak. Like, no, you didn't lose your ability to speak. In fact, you haven't lost much.
I started curating my Instagram reels. So basically, you just have to like find one that you like and then just like click on it. So like expands it, then just start scrolling through just
The
a reel.
same.
Yeah, and then you find similar videos and you start, if you like engage with them. But Instagram, I find, is like so sensitive. So like for me, like my For You page is disgusting right now, probably because I like
Yeah, the second
looked.
you see something weird in that likable video,
But if you stare at it a little too long and you watch the video like a couple seconds longer than you should have, Instagram's like, she loves it. So like if you see something gross, like it's gonna keep throwing you like disgusting.
I saw
content.
disgusting shit.
yeah, you can like leave your phone open, for instance, and it can go to the next reel.
Yeah.
And you don't know.
Didn't you have one of like
Oh
women
my God,
breastfeeding?
wait, yeah, the breastfeeding on my
The
reels.
breastfeeding was crazy. Look, it could go away again. I'm about to delete my account, transparently. I will say that people in the music industry actually hate the fact that, like artists do, that they have to
Promote on
curate
TikTok, yeah.
this promotion for certain EPs or albums on
To make
TikTok.
it go viral?
Yeah.
How do you even do that?
I don't know.
I just don't understand how people go viral. Like the only one that I made that was like starting to go viral, I ended up deleting because I realized it was like not so nice to post, and it was like of a girl getting broken up with outside her office window.
Oh, wait, that was so funny. I do remember that. That went viral fast.
I wish you kept that, honestly. It wasn't mean.
People were coming at me, be like, if I were her, I would not want that being posted of me. And honestly, like I was like, you're so right. Like I wouldn't want like a video of me getting broken up with going viral. So I felt really bad.
Well, I'll be so fucking for real. Oh my God, guys. I went to River, which is like my favorite LA restaurant. I've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Saw Pedro Pascal. And I was
Daddy.
like, oh my God. We walked out. He walked out around the same time. And his friends did bring up this like movie thing. And I was like, oh my God, I love you. Like, can I get a picture with you? And I faced rejection so hard as well.
He said, absolutely not.
He said, no, so sorry running to a movie, but thank you so much. Which honestly, I do respect if you are of
Gotta
a
set
certain
boundaries, I
type
guess.
To give
of
you an answer like that.
height in your career and
Yeah.
you have people coming up to you, whatever, like I do respect saying no, and it's fair to say no, I don't want a picture right now. I think it does come off sometimes offensive
For sure.
because rejection just hurts, but also when it's somebody that you like admire.
Yeah.
But also like I'll never forget what Tink said when we had her on the podcast, and she's like, obviously, like, no offense Tinks, but like nowhere near like the
Pedro
fame
Pascal.
Yeah.
yeah, but she's like, you have to remember, like any fan that like runs into you or that you see, like that's gonna be like their one interaction with you that they're gonna remember forever. And so like if you are a huge bitch or like you say something that's like not so nice, like they're gonna remember that like vision and version of you, like, and it's gonna ruin their day.
But I do think there's a level of fame where you have to just also realize like you're sick of it. And I
For
had
sure.
faced rejection from one other major person,
Who?
Morgan Freeman.
Where was that?
That
That's
would be
niche.
even worse.
He did not. So Chase was probably like 11 or 12 years old. So we had her go up to him because it's like kind
A
of like,
child.
how do you say
Yeah.
no to a kid?
yeah.
And he was on his phone and I think his manager or agent was with him. I don't know which were. And Chase went up to him and was like, can I get a photo? And he didn't even look up from his phone. He stayed like this. And his agent actually answered for him and was like, he doesn't want photos
Oh my
right now.
god.
Didn't even acknowledge the existence. No, nothing.
It makes you feel like not only rejected, but like a peasant almost.
Yes. Honestly, Shawshank Redemption will still be like one of my
Yeah.
favorite movies. Like, and so much respect for him.
I understand being like tired and like not wanting to take a picture with everybody. Like I feel like Pedro's answer to you was like kind.
It wasn't
Yeah,
mean. It
because he was
wasn't
like, gotta
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, and he was with his friends and like respectfully
But
also.
still, it hurts a little.
Of
Well, yeah,
course.
it's done.
Stings.
And then of course Michael's standing there being like, "Haha, you just got rejected," and I'm like, "Ah, are you
Yeah.
thriving on this right now?"
Did you guys like touch or like hug?
If he said no to a picture, I'm sure he wasn't gonna say yes to an embrace.
On that note, if you guys have a Boys Lie story you'd like to share on the Boys Lie podcast anonymously, please submit them to boyslieofficial.com. And if your story gets chosen or selected to be read on the podcast, you get a free sweatsuit. And on that note, or here, I also want to announce we have crazy exciting announcements coming up having to do with a giveaway, with a collaboration with Papa Bagels.
Yay!
So go check out our Instagram because you will be able to find how to win the giveaway, and it has to do with this podcast. So please go check it out. Next to that, we are starting a YouTube series that's a vlog series of The Office. And I was thinking maybe we post that every Sunday.
Yeah.
On that note, let's dive into story time.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Okay. Hi, I'm on the struggle bus. I've grown up in the Midwest my entire life, specifically in a region where getting married young is common and encouraged. I'm a 21-year-old female, and I'm currently dating a 22-year-old male. We've been dating for almost a year and a half, and I've had conversations about getting engaged in our future together. We labeled our relationship rather quickly within the first week of dating. I had looked at the situation as something fun, and it wasn't that serious. However, it became incredibly serious. We started talking about our future within the first month and jumped into everything way too quickly. Not only that, but within the first few months of our relationship, he loaned me money to help cover my school expenses. Not only are we slightly financially intertwined, I have now lived with him and had a family and been to family gatherings rather early into this relationship. The fear of breaking up and having to tell everyone we've broken up is very unpleasant. Now, you might be wondering why I'm even considering a breakup, and it's simply because I don't feel happy, primarily because I'm not happy with myself. My mental health is in the gutter, and I don't know how I can care for someone else if I can't care for myself. The other problem is that both of our needs haven't been met in a while, and while that happens, I feel like I'm always the one initiating things like conversations, dates, etc. I just want to be alone and not anywhere near a relationship. This is my second serious relationship. The first ended 3 months prior to this one. I low-key just want to run away from the problems in this relationship because I don't want to handle them, and that feels like shit. Any advice would be great on feeling trapped.
I have so much advice because I feel like in the many relationships I've lived in.
Yeah, I feel like you can really speak to this.
Yeah, I've been there, and I've jumped from like relationship to relationship being a serial dater. But sorry, I'm going to borrow this for a second because there were a couple pointers. The first and foremost is that if after a week you're already moving this at this pace, and then 3 months in you're like, we're living together, and you're talking about your future, like anyone can talk about the dreams that they have of their future with a significant other, and it doesn't matter like how fast or slow you do talk about it. But if you're already at this point and you're a year and a half in, you're so much better off talking about those hopes and dreams with a new person, because that's the way that you'll get closer to that part of your life.
The money thing is kind of tricky though.
Well, I think that if you loan a friend, and this is going to be my rule of thumb with anything, if you loan a friend money, or if you take a loan from a friend on money, no matter what, if you're the giver or the receiver, the giver can't have the expectation ever that you're going to give it back.
Yeah.
I would agree
but
with that.
Even with the situation here, like if obviously that sounds like it is one of her main concerns, other than the fact that I think that she's also afraid of confrontation. If he asks to pay you to pay him back, then like pay him back over time. Like it's okay if you end up having to pay him back. Like that might not be easy and it might be hard for you to do that, but like that should not be a reason that you feel like you need to be tethered to this person at all. And I know the feeling of like being afraid to like confront somebody or like confront a situation. So sometimes like it almost feels easier to stay miserable. And like I feel like that's kind of
because it's comfortable.
Yeah,
That's what a lot of
exactly.
people
But
do.
you can't seek comfort in like misery at all. Like everything you said like in the last couple of sentences, like that's all you need to say to him. Like my mental health isn't where it should be. I'm not feeling good. I can't like
I'm not happy about where I'm at in life, and it's pouring into our relationship, and I don't think both of our needs have been met. Like it's okay to say that, and it's so scary to say that, and
that's enough of an answer.
Yeah. And even say, I can also pay you back. Thank you so much for loaning me the money. I know that was, if you need me to, I will pay you back. Just offer it maybe.
I mean,
if you think it's going to be a big deal.
Even if you say, or have already made the commitment of saying that you'd pay him back, like literally just say like, look, talking about money in general is uncomfortable with anyone in any circumstance. It is. And like,
because not everybody's like you, Tori. Like you're very generous, and like I know that you're like, I wouldn't expect anyone to pay me back, but like not everybody has that
it's just
mental
it's a rule of thumb.
mindset.
If you shell out money,
I agree.
Don't expect it to come back.
I totally agree, but not everybody thinks that way.
No, not everyone thinks that way. But I'm just saying, as someone who's gone through the experience too of being burned or being used or anything like that, and feeling like,
don't be upset if you don't get the funds back in your wallet.
Hopefully he doesn't even expect it back.
I agree. And there's also like a lot of self-help books out there. Not to even get into that, but like if you are like a people pleaser, like I totally get that. It sounds like she's not only afraid of confrontation, but she got swept into this relationship and it all moved so fast, and she was like, and now it's a year later and you're like,
You need to also think about you in the scenario. If you're not happy in your own relationship, like selfishly, you need to
You
be
have
selfish.
Yeah, it's the best thing
Yeah,
you can do
now's
for
the
yourself.
time.
Like start creating a plan and being like, okay, I'm going to break up with him within the next 2 weeks. But while you're doing that, give yourself a little bit of a timeline to say, okay, where am I going to live? How am I going to move my things? Like
figure out your shit.
Figure that out with a plan of action and say, okay, on this date, I'll break up with him.
Yeah.
This is the date that I'm going to be moving out, and take your time to do that and use your time wisely there.
Yeah. I'm wishing you luck.
Me too. I understand the feeling of like being afraid.
Such an uneasy feeling, but you will be happier. And my only other advice is after you do all this, don't circle back to him in times where you feel alone.
Yeah, I agree. That's not fair to him. And also another thing to think about too is like, imagine if you were dating a guy and he like didn't break up with you and just dragged you along because he felt bad. Like he didn't want to like hurt your feelings. Wouldn't you be like, what the fuck?
And also when you're not happy with yourself too, like you turn to other outlets that you think will like bring you happiness.
Yeah.
And like I've been an attention seeker in that way, and that doesn't do anybody any service.
No. You got this.
You can do this.
You got this. Should I go?
Yeah.
Okay. This story starts, didn't think after being married for 10 years I'd have a boy's life story, but here we are. I've been married for 10 years, together with this man for 15. We started dating when I was 19 years old, so we've been together our entire adult lives, basically. I thought everything was perfect. We traveled, we loved our jobs, we bought our dream house, and we had a great group of friends. Eventually, we wanted to have a family, so we had a baby. Truly, everything seemed perfect, like a fairy tale life. When our son turned 2, we decided that we wanted to have another kid. Unfortunately, I had some fertility issues. We went through treatment, and ultimately, I ended up having a miscarriage.
I'm so sorry.
Really sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Me too. Immediately following the miscarriage, I noticed my husband started withdrawing and being really quiet all the time. Never wanting to hang out with our friends, never wanting to do anything. But I figured it was just burnout from work and sadness from our fertility journey. I asked him all the time what was wrong, and he always said nothing. I planned a huge trip to France for our 10-year wedding anniversary and talked to him about hoping the change of scenery and doing something fun like this would bring some spark back to him and to us. Because as much as I was trying, he didn't react to anything. We went to France, and he freaked out that his phone wouldn't work over there. It seemed like a weird thing to me to be so upset about the phone when we were just on such a cool trip, but I ignored it. He acted the same way on our trip that he did at home, withdrawn, quiet, etc. Flash forward another couple of months, I finally had enough, and I had a breakdown, begging him to tell me why he was like this. He admitted to me that he had been having an affair with a girl that he talked to on Instagram immediately following the miscarriage.
That's awful.
Oh my God.
He cried and he said he wanted to fix things. So I foolishly said okay, and we go to couples therapy.
You're not foolish for that, by the way.
You're not. Like
No.
15 years with somebody, like I understand wanting to fix
10
that.
years with anyone is
5.
Even 5.
Yeah.
Like if you're committed, you have a
3.
child, like I feel like there's no shame around
Not at all.
forgiving somebody if they did something horrible to you, if you think that you can
People
move past
make
And
past
people
it.
and people can
mistakes.
move past
Yeah.
it. There's proof of that.
Yeah.
So.
Not that what he did was right, but like if
No.
you guys both went through something traumatic, fuck him for doing that, but like I would probably forgive him too.
Yeah.
Or
Try
go to couples
to.
therapy. I'd be like, get your fucking ass. to
Yeah,
couples
I mean, I'd
therapy.
be furious, but depending on how he came to you about it and opened up about it, like you're not dumb for that.
No, you're
not
not.
at all.
So they went to couples therapy for 4 months, and it seemed to be getting better. And even our therapist thought that we were improving. Until one day, he seemed really withdrawn again after a great date night. I confronted him, and he admitted to never ending the affair,
Oh my God.
essentially lying to me for months, but lying so well, he tricked the actual professional therapist.
Oh, fuck.
We chose to end things and walk our separate ways after that. That's some next level dishonesty, a reminder that boys lie. He continues to say he wants to fix things, even after separating. I went by the house, and then she puts in parentheses, yes, he still lives in our family home after I moved out.
You should
Questions
not
there.
have had to
Yeah.
move.
No, you should have stayed.
She went there to drop something off for our son. Maybe it's because of the son.
I mean, yeah, I guess you
Oh.
don't want to take him out of his environment.
Yeah. But she went to drop something off, and lo and behold, the other girl is there.
Not
I
in
walked
kid's
in the
life.
back door to confront them, and she ran out the front door. I went to go look outside for her, and she was hiding in the bushes of our house so she wouldn't have to face me.
Of her
Is
her
crazy.
own house that
Boy.
she grew up in and raised her children in. That girl
Yeah.
is a coward.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's disgusting.
And like the
Yeah.
last sentence says, boys lie team. Every girl who gets cheated on should get to see the other woman hiding from her in the bushes. Facts.
Oh, that's true.
Damn. Okay, first off, I feel so terrible for you.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
And I'm glad you're out of that. I'm glad you're out of that, obviously, because he's a fuck.
Yeah, but I feel like we've read stories like this, and what's so crazy to think about for me is like miscarriage is like it's something that like I feel like obviously like no one will ever understand until you go through it, but like it's a heartbreaking, like gut-wrenching, terrible fucking thing. You lose a baby that you were it's death, it's loss. The woman, not only like after did you lose something that like you were already in love with, but like the hormones and everything you go through after, it's fucking terrible. And then it's like the men who went through it too just like go and act off, and when like the woman, like honestly, no offense, a woman's going through so much and you go and fucking cheat. What is wrong with you? Like I don't get it.
I don't
like
think we'll
it's
ever
sick.
get it.
I won't ever understand that either, and I think that it's actually, it makes me livid. Like,
no, especially like cheating in the first place is terrible, but cheating after you had a miscarriage
and you were already trying
for a baby like,
and trying so hard, it disgusts me.
It's disgusting.
There's no
and
excuse.
it's devastating.
There's no excuse for his behavior, and I totally understand and reason with the fact that you wanted your relationship with your husband that was
To
so
work.
long term
Yeah.
to work. I think that woman who ran,
pussy, fucking bitch.
Just
Also.
The least she
Disgusting.
could do is like and acknowledge it and take what she's going to say to you, because you know you're the other woman.
Have some fucking respect.
You are the home wrecker. So
take fucking accountability and face the fucking truth.
yeah.
She clearly is a fucking freakazoid if she's that scared to like go and hide in the bushes. Like, what a loser. I'm
and
sorry.
Also, we gotta be mad at the man too. Like, of
Well, the man's
course.
the
disgusting.
man's
The
probably
man's
like,
already
oh,
like-
my
And-
girl's now hiding in the bushes.
The man
Like,
is like, the bar is so low, like
Yeah.
for me,
I
that
mean,
I'm
yeah,
like,
so
you
low.
literally like, I just can't stand you.
No, I would, and that's funny. I liked your last sentence. You're like, everyone should be able to see that girl like hiding in the bushes, because it's like an almost like a not gratitude. It's like a gratifying thing to see that girl so scared that you're like, you
I
fucking
wanna
idiot.
slap her in the face. Like, I don't even know what I would do. I'd have to be held back.
Yeah. Yeah. I would just be like, you dizzy fuck. What the fuck
Yeah.
do you think you're
Yeah,
doing?
I
You're
would, like,
hiding?
slam her
Oh,
against
In
the
my
concrete.
house
Scared.
that I built into a home that you
Uh-huh.
now live in, go
Yeah,
fuck
like
yourself.
show your
Yeah.
fucking face.
And honestly, you deserve so much better, and I hope that you find the relationship that you need and that you're
Me
looking
too.
for,
Me
and
too.
you deserve so much, and
I'm
I'm
so
so
sorry.
sorry. All right. A couple of years ago, I had a really shitty boyfriend. He did a lot of fucked up stuff. He was in the military. It's always the ones
Yeah.
that are fucking in the
Is it?
military.
I don't know why you would. You would kind of think the military men would be like good guys,
Like respectable guys.
They're actually quite the opposite.
which is so shocking.
While I appreciate your service, you're doing this woman a disservice.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, you are.
That's a good line.
He was in the military and he cheated a lot while he was deployed. Out of everything, two things he did absolutely take the cake. The first one is I came home one day to this man passed out, and I already didn't trust him, so I decided to look through his phone. I found a nude series, or a series of nudes. Sorry, she wrote both. One had a face in it. I zoomed in on the face, and it was his stepsister.
Ew.
Well,
Yeah, see, special
Sister
type of
fucker.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
That's fucked. That's fucked. That's fucked.
He had grown up with her since he was 6 years old. When I confronted him, he swore up and down that she posted on her Snapchat story, and he screenshotted it to tell her. I said,
Okay,
Yeah,
no,
okay.
that's
Guess
not what
again.
you. That's not what you would
Honestly,
do.
Pretty creative excuse though.
I had a friend who was like taking a picture of something like on his counter, and there was a mirror behind it, and his dick was in the back corner in high school on a Snapchat story. I texted. I didn't screenshot. I texted him.
No way. That sucks.
Yeah. His
That
dick's
sucks
like
so
in the right corner of the mirror reflection, and it was up for so
Was it
long.
like just the tip, or was it
No,
like
full flaccid cock.
just like
didn't notice.
No, he must have just not noticed. He wasn't on his phone for a while. So it happens.
It happens, which also, you know that aside from you, there were definitely people who screenshotted it.
Oh, fully. And I'm like, never mind. I was going to say, I wish I did. I'll never listen to this.
I said, okay, did you tell her? And he said, nope, I got scared too.
The fuck?
He said, nope, I got scared too.
so I just have it.
So I just have it in my phone.
I
Just
said,
look
let
at
me
it
see the
sometimes.
picture again, because you'd be able to tell if it was from Snapchat, and he deleted it. The exact same thing happened with a picture he took of my best friend in see-through leggings. That time it was combined with a porn video of quote unquote two blonde best friend three-way. Me and my friend were both blonde. I said, let me see the picture again, because you'd be able to tell if it was Snapchat, and he deleted it. He then threw a temper tantrum and fell down the stairs in our apartment. I forgot that part. Long story short, we broke up, and he ended up with the friend that he was masturbating to
I thought you were gonna say the sister.
in the see-through.
Well, the
leggings.
sister's still on his phone.
The sister's so fucking weird. The stepsister, no.
That's like really disgust.
You should like report it to the police, like somebody. Like he's fucking.
Is that illegal?
It should be.
Is incest illegal?
Yes.
But what would happen to you?
Hold on, wait. I'm gonna Google it really quick. I just want to confirm.
I bet you it's by state.
Yeah, probably it's by state.
I think that like there has to be like some states where like maybe there's like some gray area between what
In
incest.
those rural South communities.
All but 2 states, incest is criminalized.
What are they?
Ohio's one of them.
Ohio is fucking wild.
I don't even know where the fuck Ohio is.
Have you never been?
Never. I don't think I'll ever go.
In New Jersey and Rhode Island, incest between 16 or over for Rhode Island and 18 or over for New Jersey. It's
See?
not a criminal offense, and marriage isn't allowed.
Who
but
wrote that law? Who was like, all right, let's make this law, you guys. let's
They're 16.
make it. It's not illegal, but you just can't. You can fuck your sister, you just can't marry her.
New Jersey is the armpit of the United States. You know what? I fully
I mean,
commit
of
to that.
course it's New Jersey.
But and Rhode Island, it says Ohio allows incest between consenting adults only when one party is not a parental figure.
Yeah, exactly. You could fuck your sister, you just can't marry her.
I wonder what about Ohio? Can you fuck your mom?
No parental figures. Can you?
Ever?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's illegal if it's
Okay.
a parental figure, but if it's a sibling, it's fine. However, in Rhode Island and New Jersey, it's kosher. You just can't
I
get
mean,
married.
It's
This is
kosher.
how bloodlines were created back in the day. Like royalty was made, but like
Is that really?
Yeah.
yes,
Oh.
you had to like fuck your uncle or like.
Have you ever seen Game of Thrones? It's kind of like
Yeah,
that.
it's
I never
same.
watched.
Oh, so good. If someone read my search history right now, it would be so alarming. Like someone who didn't know me. Get your siblings fuck. Like,
and then what's
Can you
before
fuck
that?
your
Probably
brother?
like something else.
yeah, like what states is incest
It's like
legal?
it's
Yeah.
like how does my Bofang work?
Yeah,
How's my Bofang work? Incest.
literally.
All right, I feel like this has been a great
Episode.
episode. Laughs, tears.
Yeah.
you
On
know.
that note,
Yeah, all the things.
Buckle up.
Enjoy the ride.
and remember that.
Boys lie.
Boys lie. Them boys, they be lying.
Boys lie.